Curtis is the leader of this revolution. He's been living in the back of the train for 18 years now, and he has a dark history, and he's the one that kind of rallies the troops to pioneer to the front of the train. I think he's, he tends to his sheep, the people that follow him he looks after, whether it's Timmy or Edgar or Tanya, I think he's loyal, and I think he's protective of the people he loves. He just happens to be put in a very cold and violent environment. Curtis just needs some humanity. He's an internal character. He's relatively violent given the plot, but I think he has a side of a softer side, I suppose.
Still, action.
I got Mason now. I can move a lot faster. You stay here with the wounded, guard the prisoners. When we take the engine, I'll call for you to lead us.
Stop it, Curtis. Why are you doing this? You know very well that you're already our leader.
This is the type of project that you dream about, having these amazing, living legends. You got John Hurt and Ed Harris and Tilda. It's just these fantastic, fantastic actors and actresses who are not only phenomenal on set, but great people off set.
It's quite violent. It looks good.
Don't move it. 3, 2, 1, action!
It's violent stuff, and it has to look real. None of these guys are trained fighters, the characters, so it can't look too choreographed. So you just gotta trust your stuntmen and go for it, and maybe get your hands dirty and go home with a few bumps and bruises.
Action!
Bong knows violence so well. He can shoot it so phenomenally. He has an eye for this kind of raw, intense, real feeling violence. The camera carries a lot of the load.
Maybe Curtis, very first time, maybe around here, gunshot will start.
Okay.
Maybe naturally you go to here. It makes sense. Because sure. But Nam and Yona is coming, so you move to this.
Sure.
First and second.
You got it.
Maybe during moving here, you may be watching where the bullet comes from, and you prepare your own gun you get from the school teacher.
그러니까 할 수 없지 뭐. 할 수 있으니까. 눈도 잘 튀고. 그레이는 잘 보였는데.
This is good. Yeah.
Let's check the final position.
Good shot.
Yeah, this is good. Water splash.
Yeah.
And sunshine on Curtis' face.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Check the gate.
All right, check the gate, please.
Director Bong obviously was of a certain caliber that was worthy of collaborating with, and so regardless of the strange nature of the script, you trust Bong's take. It's abstract, it's out there, it's different, but that's the appeal of filmmaking, doing things differently and taking risks, and it's a heightened reality. It's a strange concept. You really have to take time to wrap your head around the rules of the universe.
Very front section.
Not the guy you think I am. We film in a strange way, or not strange way, just not in a way I'm used to. We literally film according to storyboards in a straight line, as opposed to doing, all coverage and all coverage. So it's been a bit of a learning process, but again, you trust Bong, and all of his other movies have been so fantastic. You just kind of go for the ride, and it's, every day is a challenge physically, but it's worth it because it's a fantastic group of people.
The rifles. We can beat their rifles. We easily outnumber their bullets.
Okay, camera set. 3, 2, 1. Action. Gunfire. Okay, fans on, please.
커티스가 나무까지 챙겼어.
어느 새부터 그렇게 챙기더라고.
Good. Not bad. Almost done. Keep this take. Curtis protected even them.
Not the right move.
Humanity.
He's the nicest guy in the world, you know, he has no ego whatsoever. I don't even think he knows how brilliant he is. But he was very interested in what I had to say, and it just felt like it was going to be a healthy, working relationship.
Maybe what kind of thing you are going to say on the floor there before these shots, maybe?
It's the best thing about Bong, you know, he wants your input. He wants to hear what you have to say.
I wasn't really gonna, I was kind of just gonna be smiling at him, like.
Yeah, you are not nervous.
I'm not nervous,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
concerned. I just gotta wait for him to stop so I can get my little private moment. Like, you know, I just
Tanya, Mommy, and Edgar say
can
something.
be a little more upset, but I'm just gonna.
Curtis has already planned to
I know what I'm
offer
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Come here. Come here. What do you want for it?
In the whole white train,
In the whole wide train.
the ball.
The ball? No. No, I'm sorry, I can't do that.
The film itself is, you know, an allegory for class warfare and this kind of social structure. There's a great line in the film where it's, that's what people in the best place say to people in the worst place. And it really is that kind of struggle, that fight for the people, the haves versus the have-nots, and what that type of repression can give birth to. This kind of revolt and violence and rebel. And I think that can be seen all over the place, in a lot of walks of life, in a lot of different ways.
They don't have bullets.
Why do you say that?
Remember what Mason said? She said, put down that useless gun.
She meant that she wouldn't give the order to shoot me.
No, I think the guns are actually useless.
It's been fantastic. It's going to be tough going on to my next film because I'm so spoiled on this one. It's just been such a wonderful, collaborative experience. Very satisfying as an actor. So, I don't know. I'm happy. I'm glad I did this.
A/47, take 2. A mark.
Okay, camera set. Set. And action.
Bien. Chest. Salut.
Ah, all right.
Cut. Up there. Thank you. Good. Yeah. Happiness. All right, cheering, please. Thank you.
I was approached through my agent that Director Bong from Korea would like to meet me, and I happened to be working in Soho in London at the time, so we met there, and we had a fantastic meeting. It was kind of electric. He was very kind about me, and I at that time was not aware of his work, but I got a terrific feeling from him. We talked a bit of philosophy, we talked a bit of, and then he described in kind of sketchily what the film was about, and I said, well, that sounds very interesting because it's kind of Noah's Ark in a sense, only not with animals, with human beings, and with all our failings rather than animal failings and so on. It's one of those meetings when you meet somebody and you know that something's happening. Hence, I'm sitting here. If you read the script without knowing that Bong was going to direct it, I think you might find it somewhat simplistic. Well, of course it is. It has to be, because it's a microcosm of humanity. So you're treading on thin ice.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Mr. Gilliam. You look healthy. Releasing.
Minister Mason, please deliver a message to Mr. Wilford.
Of course. What shall I say?
Tell him he and I need to talk.
Hey, Mark. Are we set? And action.
Tell him he and I need to talk.
Well, you can talk to me. Mr. Wilford has no reason to visit here.
Though one always treats, or at least I always treat, the script as a springboard, I would now say that certainly a piece of this nature, the script is a springboard, but I think you have to have the director.
I just wanted to say the basic position and something basic moment for this scene. He's smoking now, and Tanya and people taste the smoke or hallucinated, and he throw it. And Tanya and some people, don't touch my Marlboro. Every people.
Right.
So 사람들 관심이 확 쏠렸을 때, all the attention goes to there.
With the director, it sounds like I'm just singing his praises. Well, I am just singing his praises, but I'm singing his praises because I believe what I'm saying. And he's cast the film very, very carefully. And everybody, it seems to me, is providing more food for the director to be able to make a good meal.
Okay, camera set and action.
너도 안 바라보고 싶냐? 하긴, 너 같은 개싸가지가 담배 맛이나 알겠냐만.
I can only say that I wish that I'd worked with Song more, because I don't do much with him. But I've watched him, and he has a massive presence, and I'm so thrilled to meet him and be in a film with him. I believe he's a big, what they call star in Korea, and I'm not in the least bit surprised. He's got a huge presence, and does that wonderful thing that I love with actors that are of that stature, that he seems to come from nowhere and provide you with everything.
She meant that she wouldn't give the order to shoot me.
No, I think guns are literally useless. They used up all their bullets 4 years ago in the last revolt. Bullets are extinct.
If you're wrong, we could be finished before we even start.
Cut. Up there.
I read the script over and over, and then again, and then again, and then again and again. And while I'm doing that, all the information is going into my computer, my brain, and hopefully is fermenting. And to continue the metaphor, I hope that it produces a good wine. But I don't quite know how that happens. If I did, I wouldn't tell you.
And this next story, take one. set.
Kompas akce.
And action.
Still cold. Dead. All dead.
He is probably, in a sense, the most complicated character, apart from Wilford. And in a sense, Wilford is not as complicated as Gilliam, because Gilliam seems to be one thing, and I think a huge amount of him is that thing. But then there's another side to Gilliam. He vacillates between the revolutionary and, shall we say, the establishment. And I don't think he finds it very easy either. I mean, he's not had an easy life. He's lost 2 limbs in order to feed the hungry. The best things, like always, is when you feel you've just struck a note that might make a moment. And film is, as we know, is image on screen. And if you can manage to create a moment, that's the most thrilling thing. I always find that in this business, that the fascination of interviewers and audience is, how do you do it? And in all truth, I don't know.
Okay, roll sound.
Rolling.
Roll speed.
20/18, take 1.
Go. And action.
Water supply section.
Oh, it's just a few cars up. It's where the water's cleansed and recycled.
It's one of the most crucial sections in the train.
If we take it, we'll have control.
Won't even have to go to the very front. We control the water. And we control the negotiation.
Like a painter, when he starts a project, he starts with a totally blank canvas, and he doesn't bring anything from what was previous to what is now. That's impressive. And his method of shooting is incredibly impressive. For in this film, partly to do with the geography of it, because it's all in a train, so it's all long and thin. And shooting masters is impossible, really. And he only shoots what he wants to see on screen. Now, that may sound simple, but that is as difficult as Hitchcock. And he is doing what Hitchcock did. There's not going to be anything on the cutting room floor. Well, little scraps. Nothing much. But that takes a huge knowledge of film. The last time as Gilliam, and not much of Gilliam here, it is nearly all gone.
Shot to pieces. And action.
What it does for me, and I think it's quite alarming, is it talks about questions that we dare not talk about in terms of the globe itself. It's not a subject that we humans really like to think about. What the film will do is provoke a great deal of argument. I've had nothing but joy working with Director Bong. We seem to be very much on a wavelength. I don't appear to have done anything yet that he's not in tune with, and he hasn't said anything to me that I'm not in tune with. So that's a very nice situation to be in, and I have to say I'm enjoying it, and I do so hope that we get the chance to work together again. I'd love to do so. I got to praise the stills photographer. I've never met such a sweet human being in my life who is so dedicated and so good. So good. They're the best stills I've seen, I think, on any film I've ever worked on. He's quite magnificent. And as a person, he is everything to envy.
Hello.
Octavia.
How are you? Oh, I'm so excited. What do we think? I'm not wearing any makeup, but this is...
Yeah, perfect.
Well, I got involved with Snowpiercer because my agent had read it and knows that I am a huge fan of sci-fi genre and post-apocalyptic. And after he read it, he said, you really need to meet with Director Bong. And I thought, well, will he meet me for this role? And then I met him. And in your meeting with Director Bong, he had everything, all of these storyboards beautifully done on his iPad, and I was hooked and wanted to know everything about the story. So after I left that meeting, I immediately went home, and my agents had emailed the script.
Action! Come on. Cut man!
Stop! Okay, good. Check the gate.
Check the gate, please. Well done.
When you become a fan of someone's work, to get the opportunity to work with them and learn from them is huge. To get the opportunity to work with them and have this connection where you want to do good work because you don't want to let him down is a whole nother thing. When you work with someone who enjoys what they do, he obviously enjoys what he does. I mean, the fact that he stays up and does storyboards after he's worked all day, he'll go home and draw storyboards. Now, he's not the best artist. Don't tell him I said that. Sometimes I can't tell if I'm me on the storyboard or if I'm Luke. No, I'm kidding. Not really. But you know, he's just very, very, very dedicated.
Tanya? Here. So in the next shot, you will put it. So you all enjoy the sushi.
Yeah.
She enjoyed the protein block. And now,
Yeah, I got a sushi belly.
Luke? Yeah.
That means a lot. That means a lot to me because I'm still, you know, I feel like I'm in my infancy and learning as much as I can as a filmmaker. And so it's always good to learn something new and to learn it from a person that you admire so much.
Od Octavia, tak ještě jděte.
Stick your face over like that, Pumpkin. So you see what you're doing? Yeah.
That's it.
And laugh at Mama and laugh at Curtis because we all can't get up there, okay? Tanya is a mom who is a part of the future, you know, but holds bastions of the mindset of the past. And she's separated from her son, and her goal is to reunite with him.
That's your boy.
Timmy, look at your face. Curtis, you gotta let me come.
No, Tanya, I'm sorry.
You're gonna be if you don't let me come. I'm gonna make that bitch sorry she ever put her hands on my boy.
Make sure you can hide that in your clothes.
You know I'm stronger than all these little skinny soldiers put together. She has a mouth. She is pure love when it comes to her child. And she's also a person who is willing to fight for what she believes in. and stand shoulder to shoulder with the men and women of the tail section. So she's brave in a lot of ways, and in a lot of ways, she's just human. I always approach my characters with a sense of what is the truth about their environment, what is real about this character, what resonates with me, and then just try to just keep peeling back the layers. I definitely look for the realism and want to explore as many, avenues as possible to make it real for the audience. This is my first action film. It's my first sci-fi action film, so it's a lot of stuff that I'm not used to. Loud explosions, people getting shot and dying, or maybe not dying.
You do that. Okay, what's just 2 hits?
The difficult thing in the filming process for me, I play these very tough characters, either tough speaking or big attitudes, and it couldn't be further from who I am as a person. This time, not only am I playing a tough character, but you actually see her fighting.
Keep moving!
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Cut there.
I'm the biggest wimp on the planet. I'm really worried about hitting people and really worried more than anything about being hit. I don't really like the idea of hitting someone and I really don't like the idea of being hit myself. So working with Julian has been great because I'm such a fan of his as a stunt coordinator. But yeah, the stunts were very, very difficult. And I need to keep up with these guys who are doing these amazing things. And I thought that all these guys, with Chris and Jamie, that all of their stunts were coordinated because they come on to set and they do a little, we go through the action and it's perfect and brilliant. And I'm thinking, well, they should have choreographed mine. And then I realized none of them were. They were just that good. The guys are just that much better at it.
That's what we like.
How long have you been in the chair for, Luca?
I've been in the chair. Hang on, what time is it?
How long?
7.
1 hour and 23 minutes.
1 hour and 23.
1 hour 23 minutes.
So that obviously affects your call time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I just have to say, the members of the tail section, especially the male cast, are very easy on the eyes. They're all gorgeous, young, very talented actors. I mean, so it's really easy to collaborate with them. But you know what? They're also a lot of fun, and we look out for each other. There's this wonderful thing that either does or doesn't happen when you're on a film. You hope that you go to a new set and the dynamics are such that you bond. It doesn't always happen that way. It did on this film. We all gelled immediately. The production staff is so great. They put this little communal table out, between our trailers with an umbrella. So it's kind of like being in your backyard or at a barbecue with a big group of friends. There's a lot of downtime when you're on a set. And Luke said, we need some cards, Octavia. It would be great if we had cards. I could teach you this card game. There was one day that we had so much time that we played 30 games. And I don't know if it was because I was exhausted, because it doesn't mean that Luke is that much better at this game than me, but he was beating me 2 games to 1. He beat me 20 games and I had 10 games. And for some reason, he decided to make a scorecard of it. It was so humiliating.
What's going on, right?
Fair.
This is me, this is Octavia, okay?
No, it is not fair. It's not fair.
Film this all day.
I couldn't find a pen earlier
Film it
to mark
all
down all of my
day
wins.
long.
I love when I come onto a set and leave with friends that I'm going to have for life. And I definitely am thrilled that I've met these guys because I think that we're going to be in each other's lives. There's so many messages in this film, but without giving anything away, I think the biggest message is, especially if you look at the people from the tail section, all the Asian people, all the white people, all the black people, all have a hinge of gray because we're so dirty, but there's a beautiful uniqueness in the brotherhood of wanting the same goal, and that goal is to be treated as an equal with the people in the front section. And I just think that rings true to real life. If we look at Snowpiercer as a fable, I see the train tracks being the road to life, and the vehicle by which we travel, of course, is the train, but the vehicle by which we travel as human beings is this. So we need to make sure that this is open to receiving, as many cultures, as many religions and differences and beliefs as possible.
Okay, you look beautiful. Terrific. Tanya, the sword is perfect. Just bring it over a little to the left. Okay, now take it a little further over to the right. Oh, that's great. Aim it right here. Hold that pose.
It's not every day that you get to work with John Hurt, Tilda Swinton, Jamie Bell, Chris Evans, Ko, Song, and of course Kang Ho. So I feel very honored.
I suppose I was involved with the project the first time I saw Bong Joon-ho's work, and I was, always such a devotee of his cinema. But we met 2 years ago. No, 1 year ago only. 1 year. Feels like 10. 1 year ago in Cannes. He was there on a jury, and I was there presenting a film. And when I heard that Bong Joon-ho wanted to meet me, I was very, very happy, and we had breakfast. I told him at that time that I didn't want to make any more films, which was true. I was very tired and wanted to lie down for a good decade. But I said, if it was you and if it could be fun, I remember saying this word, if it could be fun. I didn't say funny. I said, if it could be fun, then let's work something out. We kept a correspondence going, and slowly this insane idea of me working with him on Mason came about.
Mason was born in the most mysterious way. When I first talked to director Bong about being in the film, I pointed out to him that there wasn't actually a part for me. And he looked a little nonplussed, as if that wasn't really important. And then he went away and came back and asked me to look at the part of Mason, which still in the script is referred to as a mild-mannered man in a suit. We just started to play. I told him I just wanted to have some fun, really. But Mason is a strange combination of clowns that I've known, who will remain nameless. But also, I have to confess, there's a little Marilyn Manson in here as well. Somewhere. Manson, Mason.
Yes.
Mason is a sort of Pandora's box, kind of hodgepodge, nightmare freak of all of our imaginings of what the worst case scenario leader might be. And as we play with it more and more, every day, even today, there are new references coming to my mind. Not references that I want to implement, but references that I realize we have both been unconsciously implementing all the time. There's everything from Arturo Ui to Silvio Berlusconi to Korean leaders, the North Korean leaders that are terrifying to all of us, to English leaders that have been terrifying to most of us from the United Kingdom during the 80s, to American leaders that terrify us. There's a feeling of Libyan leaders.
Passengers, this is not a shoe. This is disorder. This is size 10 chaos. This, see this? This is death. I am a hat, you are a shoe. Know your place, yes? So it is.
Melting. This was one of the first words that Bong Joon-ho and he sort of set to me as a challenge in a way. He said, I remember when we met again in LA, he said, the more I think your Mason must be melting. We still don't know what gender Mason is. Mason is still referred to as Sir by most of her subordinates. I just looked at the script again this morning. Mason is still referred to as a mild-mannered man in a suit. This is where we began. I'm not sure that's real hair, you know? There's this feeling of construct, this feeling of inauthenticity. You're looking for the human always.
Happy Ekaterina Bridge, you filthy ingrates! You people, who, were it not for the benevolent Wilfred, would have frozen solid 18 years ago today. You people, who have been suckling on the generous titty of Wilfred ever since for food and shelter.
If you look at some of these monstrous leaders that we are constantly exposed to and bombarded by, they are very often tolerated because they are clowns. There's a part of us that sort of wants to keep them there so that they can amuse us. It's very sick.
You people are very lucky. This is only served twice in a year, in January and July.
Why? Not enough fish?
Oh, enough is the wrong criterion.
Balance. You see, this aquarium is a closed ecological system, and the number of individual units must be very precisely controlled in order to maintain the proper sustainable balance.
Playback.
All right, looking at playback, please.
The privilege of being with this group of actors is really, beyond words. Some of these actors are literally hand-picked my favorite actors working today. To work with Kang Woo-sung, who is, for me, one of the greatest actors ever and living. He's up there. And to work with Ewan Bremner, who is an old friend of mine. He and I are the Scottish contingent here. And to work with Octavia, and I think Chris is an extraordinary new kind of American hero in film. All of them, actually, all of them. And Vlad and Adnan. I mean, it's such a privilege for all of us individually to be on that list, because we know by looking at the others, you think, Director Bong could have chosen anybody, and he chose me to be on that list. It's really, really wonderful.
Gunfire. Roll sound. On speed.
36/5, take 2.
Set. Action.
Your list is fun.
I've just had the joy of my life. It's been joy from start to finish. Such a playful atmosphere and a combination of playful and at the same time this security and gratitude that we're with a master. I mean, everything is devolved from him, and his playfulness, I think, feels like it comes from his preparedness and his confidence. He knows exactly what he wants, and we can all rest on that.
Action.
No, Curtis, my friend. No, listen to me. No, it want me.
Yeah, this is better, yeah.
Okay.
Action.
Curtis, my friend, we understand each other. Listen to my words. No, it wasn't me.
Cut.
Yeah, better. I think the film is an allegory. It really will be unlike anything we've seen before. But it's like all great work, it's about something really simple. It's about life. It's about living. I think it's about survival. Just that. And life is about survival. You know, even surviving death. It's about day after day, carriage after carriage, battle after battle. And people leave, they get left behind, and we go on. And eventually we all leave the train.